introduction video to the Toefl test, and today we're going to speak briefly about the 4 different sections and what they entail, what's included in those sections, and how to be as successful as possible. As you probably know, the Toefl is made up of 4 sections: speaking, writing, listening, and reading. Perfect score would be 120, which is split into 4 parts, or 30 points for each section. This test is used for acceptance into English-speaking colleges, many of which are in the United States, Canada, and a couple other English-speaking countries. So today I just want to give you a little bit of knowledge on how to do well in each section, how to be prepared, and how to do the best that you can to get the highest score possible. Okay, so I'm going to teach you some little tips today. Okay, to be successful in each of the following sections, you must learn to do the following. I'm going to break down each section, give you tips and hints on each section and how to do the best that you can. The biggest thing for each section is taking proper notes. That's going to help you in all 4 sections, and it's very vital to success in your taking of the Toefl test. First, we'll talk about speaking. I wrote, take quick, neat notes. Notes are the big key to the speaking section. Sometimes it can be difficult to speak for 45 seconds or a minute in a second language if you don't know how to organize your thoughts. That's when notes will help you to organize your thoughts and help you do the best that you can and keep everything in order. Okay, right here I said that's going to help you keep your thoughts in order and make sense. If you say things out of order, it's going to be confusing, you're going to be confused, and then your grader that's listening to you will also be confused. Right, you want to learn how to successfully use your notes. Not only keep them in order, but know when to talk about each thing, how much time to spend on each part of the speaking section. And that's something that we'll talk about more in another video that'll be only about the speaking section. Also, you always need to answer the question. In some questions, you'll be asked a personal question. In other questions, you'll be asked to talk about the opinion of someone in the test. Make sure that you answer the question. You have to fully understand it to be able to answer it. Next section is writing. You need to memorize the correct structure for writing an English essay. The structure for English and writing is much different than other languages, and it's very different, especially from Asian languages. So it's something that's very important to learn and fully understand before you can take the writing section in the Toefl test. You need to learn to order your key points in a way that build toward a convincing end. Okay, similar to the speaking section, you need to be able to line up what you're going to talk about so that it makes sense. And then at the end of the writing section or speaking section, you can really communicate the point that you're trying to get across to your reader, listener, or your grader. Okay, use a high level of vocabulary. The better vocabulary you use, the better your writing looks. Even if you have perfect grammar and you use basic vocabulary, your writing's not really going to be as strong as it could if you use stronger, better vocabulary. Okay, the third section is listening. You need to learn to quickly understand the parts of the listening section that you know will be important. As you probably know from some practice with the Toefl, during the questions they will ask you about a specific part of the listening test. Those are times you really need to listen for that you know are going to be important when the time comes for answering the questions. Okay, you need to be able to understand idioms and pick up on subtleties of the English language. English, like many other languages, speak in idioms very often or use words of speech, different things to communicate a point, even if it's not clearly communicated to a person that's learning English. So learning those idioms is important to be able to really understand what's being said. Also, take notes that you can easily understand when reviewing. You need to make sure that you keep your notes in order. If your notes are unorganized and written all over your page, then you're probably going to be confused when you're looking over your notes. Try and answer the questions in the listening section. Okay, and then the fourth one is the reading section. Vocabulary, again, is vital to clearly understanding the reading section. The bigger words you know and the stronger understanding that you have of English vocabulary, the more easily it will be for you to understand the reading sections. Idioms also show up in reading as well as the listening. As you know, I just spoke about idioms, words of speech that English uses often, but they're going to show up in the reading as well. Be able to read between the lines. meaning that you must learn to pick up on small details that may not clearly stick out. Sometimes a question will ask you what was inferred by this, or what was inferred in this sentence. That means, what did the sentence mean? Even though the sentence may not clearly communicate that point, you still need to be able to understand what was being said, even if it's spoken in an idiom or in a strange way. Okay, so just a very quick review. We want to learn to take excellent notes for all 4 sections: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Notes are going to be very helpful for you in doing the best that you can. Okay, you want to study vocabulary often. If you speak with vocabulary, you'll get a better grade. If you write with vocabulary, you'll get a better grade. If you understand vocabulary, then the listening and reading will be much easier as well. Also, don't get frustrated. You can do it. Many people are trying to do well on the Toefl test, and many of them have become very successful because of doing well on the Toefl test. You can do this, and I want to do the best that I can to help you be successful in each section.